Tucker Carlson wants to keep his audience entertained. He'd love to have, for instance, I don't know, sex scandal involving a politician, but there's just not one out there. Nothing spicy and salacious involving human trafficking or underage women or anything like that. So he's got to find something to talk about. So he ended up doing this.
And it becomes very clear when you see those text exchanges that he's dealing with crack cocaine dealers. There's even a photo of him pulling another prostitute's hair, grinning at the same time. It's kind of quite disturbing stuff on there. But there's also some really intimate conversations and quite eyebrow-raising conversations between him and his father, Joe Biden. I really agree with you as well. He's a doting father. He clearly loves his son a lot. But you get to a point where Joe knows about his son's severe drug addiction, and he is still funding him.
Hard drive from hell is the Daily Mail in their blockbuster report today, reporting on new contents exposing Hunter's struggles, his debauchery. There's that one picture right there. This was in the Daily Mail today. That's one of two of a sexual nature that are there. That is another one. They both show, as you can see, we'll go back and forth and show you. Look at that, you see those teeth? Yeah, a well-known side effect for huge amounts of drug abuse, especially with crack cocaine.
Yeah, the honest thing there was, we'll go back and forth and show you, and I'm sure they will, over and over and over again, even though both of those programs, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, haven't had anything to say about Matt Gaetz for a solid week plus at this point. Not even a facade of like a serious obligation to ethically cover what's going on in Congress. Instead, it's Hunter Biden, who, look, if he broke the law, he broke the law. Like we were saying earlier, whether we want sex work to be legal or not, it's not. But he's also notably not a congressman, not even remotely an elected official like the guy they refuse to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is about. I mean, I know what it is. It's they tell their audience not to watch porn, so they need something for release, right? And so this is the old trick that Bill O'Reilly used to do, and Sean Hannity does it every year too. Spring break is getting out of control. We are moralizing over it by showing you pictures of barely clothed women. Now look at it over and over again, however long it takes you, right? Meanwhile, tut. Can you believe that? They did it less during the Trump era because some of the girls might have been Trump's girlfriends or mistresses. So it became a little harder to moralize. And so I'm gonna, especially given the president's wife, who I'm gonna get to in a second, okay? So this has zero political relevance. Hunter Biden did drugs and that's technically illegal. So did George W. Bush. Let's go. If we're gonna arrest both of them, let's go arrest both of them.
So did Obama.
Yeah, and so did Kamala Harris, and she laughed about it. So we're bipartisan. Okay, I think that they should legalize marijuana today. I think that's an actual issue, and the Democrats suck on that issue. And Joe Biden said he'd do it on the first day, and he didn't, so he lied about that. That's a real issue, okay? So we're criticizing Democrats on that way more than Fox News ever did. Okay, so but Hunter Biden, what did he put? Biden put him in charge of Middle East policy? Oh no, that was Trump putting his son-in-law in charge of Middle East policy and about half of the other issues. So Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are 1,000 times more politically relevant. Trump's kids made $640 million while he was in office. Don Jr., Eric, they're all politically relevant. Hunter Biden is not anywhere near as politically relevant as those. So I assume with this new standard that Fox News has now created, that if you have any salacious pictures of kids of political figures that are grown up, that you're allowed to put them. Okay, great. So if anybody's got naked pictures of Ivanka Trump or Don Jr. or Eric, I hate to do it to the country, but apparently they're newsworthy. So we'll show them over and over and over and over and over again. Naked. Ha ha ha. Look at them having sex as if they're humans. Ha 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 ha. I am moralizing. Oh my God, that guy had addiction problems, so he was slightly weak. I know what hypocrites Republicans are. Because Mike Lindell, their favorite idiot, that MyPillow CEO, a conspiracy theorist, was a crack addict, okay? So crackhead, whatever you want to call him. And I forgot what I called him. I think a crackhead, whatever, right? And they're like, oh, how how could you say that about his past drug use? Dude, you think it's past? You really think it's past? Okay, and they pretended to be outraged by that. Now they're like, look at Hunter Biden's teeth. Look at Hunter Biden's teeth. It's even worse than mine. Okay, yeah, I got you. All right. So you guys are liars. You're hypocrites. You're moralizing, judgmental pricks. So let's just be clear. And I don't know what you did to those pictures, and I don't want to know. Okay. But the bottom line is, I now know the new standard, which then leads us to the First Lady. So we're not going to do it today, but she took naked pictures for a living. Melania Trump took naked pictures for a living. It looks like, and even Tucker Carlson admitted, it didn't look like he left that laptop anywhere. So I don't know if that laptop was stolen by some Republican operative, that would actually be a crime I care about, okay? And you wanna steal people's naked pictures and then put them up all over national news? What's to stop us, Melania Trump, a far more politically relevant figure, from showing her naked pictures every single day? And if you're gonna moralize, all right, then I'll moralize. Why was the First Lady, the former First Lady, what was she? And how did she make money? And I don't know, why don't I put up the pictures and ask that question every day? As long as, we're doing things for just salacious material and to smear people.
I love that you brought up Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, and his crack addiction. And now I can't stop thinking about the cross that he wears is actually like a cocaine spoon. Like he's just got it in proximity, like, I'm fine, buy my pillow. It's really great. I can't stop thinking about that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know that Mike Lindell is still doing crack. He certainly acts like it in terms of his conspiracy theories, his insanity. Now he says he's gonna uncover that Fox is too left wing. The guys we're talking about. Mike Lindell said they're too left wing. They're too left wing, and I'm gonna go get them, and I'm gonna find the rabbit hole, and I'm gonna go down it, and I tell you, man, we're gonna release the Kraken any day. Didn't he say the other day that Trump's gonna come back and be president next month or something? Right. Yeah. So yeah, you want to talk about crackheads? You got a lot of them on the right wing side. Tons and tons of right wingers doing tons of hard drugs, including, by the way, Matt Gaetz, and that's why he's actually in trouble, along with the underage prostitution. So if we want to talk about people's personal habits all day long, right wingers, because you know what you do, and don't tell me that you're moral, because ain't none of you moral.
And it's so true what you said about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is a private citizen. He's not in government. He's not appointed to anything, like actually affecting legislation. And so if you want to open it up to private citizens, then let's look at all your kids. Like all these, GOPers, like they think their kids are squeaky clean. I don't think so. There's stuff out there on their kids, their wives, their exes, their husbands. Like there is trash to be dug up.
Yeah, and I want to be clear again. This is all about adult kids, and so luckily even Fox News hasn't done it to anybody's underage kids or talked about them, etc. Right? But last thing, guys, you want to know what the real prostitution is? When family members of these politicians go work as lobbyists. Orrin Hatch's son did that for decades and robbed the taxpayers blind. God, he'd rob us blind with that stuff. And then they turn around and go, oh, that guy had the wrong kind of sex and that guy did the wrong kind of drugs, as if that's the real issue. No, the real issue is corruption. And if you want to talk about corruption, Trump's kids were the most corrupt we have ever seen in our lifetimes.